Hello, all. Good morning, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us at DevDays 2026 for Prompting Identity, Turning Harbor Pilot into your ultimate co-pilot. I'm Harshamin, manager down here at SailPoint. How many hours you might have spent through the documentation or trying to debug a complex correlation issue by just staring at it? What if you could simply ask? Today, we're going to talk about those scenarios where like you can use the AI assistants, the Harbor Pilot to help you with those things. So those hours of frustration, the minutes into your conversation with your AI code now. So from hours to minutes, yeah, let's see how soon we can get into seconds. Generative AI is changing identity security, but the tool is only powerful as the person yielding it. So SailPoint's Harbor Pilot is an incredible force multiplier. Yet many administrators are just touching the base for it. This session is a classic masterclass where like prompting engineering to how to utilize Harbor Pilot into Identity Security Cloud. Will move beyond just asking the question and answers to your, we can say as the chatbot or something like this, to actually generating things out of it. Maybe it can be something to help to your debugging, something into your workflows, the transforms, the provisioning policies, and whatever the complexities comes with the day. Again, the new thing which you're gonna learn is about access request. That is something which you're gonna add to the agenda for the day. So Harbor Pilot is a full agentic power drastically which reduces your administrative overhead. We'll dive into the agenda for the day. So we'll start with Harbor Pilot from clicks to conversations, from just asking a short quick Q&A session to an actual fruitful things. Then we'll embark the journey to meet the different facets of the new co-pilot which you can use. Like we'll meet the investigator, your data detective, then the builder, when like who will become your go-to architect to building stuff like maybe workflows, maybe transforms, something like that. Then we'll follow with the governance to enforce intelligent control, maybe your governance policy, or we can say as your provisioning policy. And finally, the access. We can say as access broker to streamline your requesting access and making access request maybe for yourself, maybe for someone else, maybe you are a manager and you want to request it for your team. Let's see how we can utilize Harbor Pilot to do this for you instead of you finding those items from investigating your own accesses or your team's access, making those access requests manually. Harbor Pilot can do it for you easily with just few clicks. We'll look into that too. So, going deep. As developers and architects and builders, we live in a world of increasing complexity. The universe of identities we manage is expanding beyond human to agents, non-human identities, and growing army of machine accounts, services, and AI agents. It's going to keep on multiplying with the growing day. So now how we going to deal with it? So let's first understand what is Harbor Pilot, how it does it, and then we dive into it. So what is your Harbor Pilot? So it is a heart in a central orchestration agent, the brain of the operations. We can say the orchestrator uses advanced natural language understanding on NLM models to analyze your prompts, classify your intent, whether you're searching data, building automations, trying to generate something of provisioning policy, workflows, or even making access request, and then delegate this task to your specific agents to get them done. So think of an intelligent air traffic controller. It analyzes your prompts, like understands your intent and helps you like route those correctly to your specialized agents who are just designed to deal with that. Compare it to your microservices environment into your legacy systems when you used to have it. Like you design your microservices just for certain business. Similarly, your agents are specialized to do those operations. The entire system is built on a robust multi-agent framework, allowing complex, stressful interactions between agents. The fleet of digital agents include experts like analytic agents, the workflow agent, the documentation agent, the access request agent, each designed to handle your specific domain under your identity security umbrella. It's engineered to understand your intent, classify them, process them, and give you the desired outputs. Again, it's AI. Not always going to be the best, but yeah, pretty much it does the job out of there, right? Now we'll dive into the first thing, that is your investigators. We'll begin with like how you can use Harbor Pilot as to investigate something, to look into something, to find you some nuances which are unearthed if you do it manually. So those manual efforts are where you can maybe save it, control it, however is it possible. So as developers, architects, builders, we will live in a world of increasing complexity. Every day new use cases, new nuances, new complexities get unearthed, and you're supposed to derive a way to deal it into your we can say as IGA model, how you can do it, how your IGA is going to handle those stuff. The universe of identities we manage is expanding beyond human now. So till now, maybe a year or so ago, we would have just talked about human identities. Now it's all about non-human identities, the machine identities, which we are talking about, the services, the agents, and whatnot into the given time. So with you looking out for each of those aspects, analyzing how it's going to be, it is going to increase the complexity. So we'll start with the investigation stuff. First, the expert consultant. So let's start with the common challenge. You are tasked with designing a core part of your identity program, maybe like a new access model. You're new to your SailPoint, or maybe the SailPoint implementation workflows, or how you're supposed to do it. You don't know what is an access model, or maybe you don't have the insights of how SailPoint behaves or curtails those access model. How is it designed, how is it handled, how is entitlement getting provisioned, how is entitlement getting deprovisioned, what happens if they are we can say as encapsulated into your access profiles, roles, lifecycle states, how a SailPoint is going to react, how you are supposed to build your access model, taking those reactions or those aftermaths into account, because we all know that with building up on a base which is already jiggly, it's going to be complex to maintain it. So customers are always expected to build from a stronger base model, stronger access model, which is reliable, long term, expandable. So you are eyeing growth. So how are we going to do it? Where do you begin? So this is where Harbor Pilot can act as an expert consultant. Using the documentation query template, you are going to ask broad conceptual questions and get a detailed structural response. So for example, like this template pretty much covers things into like the documentation query. In the documentation query, we classified, so we're going to tell Harbor Pilot what is the categorization we want to work. What is the task you want it to cover? Like, okay, concepts, troubleshooting, configuration, process design. What do you want it to do? Then what feature name, what error type, what process name you're stuck on, like the one which we are talking about, like access model. You're new to access model. You want Harbor Pilot to help you with what are the best practices, the nuances, how to explore it. Then what is the context? What have you tried? What is working in sandbox? What is not working in sandbox? What is something where you are stuck right now? And then explain like what do you want? Like give me the documentation, give me the best practices, give me the nuances, give me what not to do, give me what to avoid, cautions, disclaimer, whatever you want to ask. Like whatever is there available out there for Hyperpilot in its knowledge base, maybe exploring SailPoint's documentation and something, it's going to deliver it to you. So cite deal, and you can ask to cite SailPoint documentation. What eventually gets achieved to you. So this is like actionable structure. This response is structured with clear heading, logical hierarchy, then like going to entitlements, access profiles, roles, and direct links to your source documentation. So now, because Harbor Pilot is going to cite those references, so in case you need to validate what Harbor Pilot is saying it to you, you have those options to, okay, go ahead, let's validate it from those links. We're going to see that down there in demo pretty much. So this is one of the examples. We'll use this as a live example and we're going to try to demo it. So here what we are talking about documentation and concept. As we said, like access models, talking about entitlements, access profiles, roles, LCS, which is pretty much your what we can say is access model. Tell it what do you want. You want it as like, okay, tell me it for both admin as well as non-users both. So this will tell Harbor Pilot that what is the actual type of assistance you are looking for. As an admin, as an end user, it helps Harbor Pilot to get you those documentation links which are suitable for the audience type and what you need. So for example, I listed it like I want to hear about dynamic roles because there's something new which has been added, like now or dynamic approvals as well, because that is also something which is new, which is added. Then doc section titles, links, limitations if needed, any notes, any license limitations, anything which is around. I need to know everything which I need to take into account while making those decisions while designing the access model. So, and again, last side me the documentation. So this is what I am asking Harbor Pilot to get me. So Harbor Pilot is going to help you get that. Perfect. We'll go to live demo. Share changing screens. So this is the first one. I'll just pick up the entire expert consultant. Perfect. This is what we talked about, like access models, the entitlements, access profiles, roles, lifecycle state, admin, everything. And we can go see what it gives us. Pretty much because it's an AI agent, it's going to give you close by results every time, but gives you the gist, gives you solves the problem, how to do it. So until till the time it loads up, I do have a sample for you, which I'm going to bring up. Okay, so here you go. So it's still working on it. Till the time we'll start looking at what was the result. So based on the documentation and everything which we asked, it went into access model overview. It covered about entitlements, its key details, usages, limitations, then access profiles. Again, similarly, features, what you do, how you do, what are your configuration options, your important notes, which is the most important, like new or updated access profiles must be applied through your identity processing. So your apply changes button. Disable access profiles does not take part. These are something which is must to know. Similarly, like your access profile, if it is without any entitlement, it's going to automatically go into the disabled state. How we define them, like roles, your standard, because we asked it explicit to cover dynamic roles as well. So discovering dynamic roles as well. What is a dynamic role? What are there? What you do? What are the user levels? Much detail into dynamic roles. What are the dimensions? How you going to do with it? Everything. What are the dimension criteria? How you define with it? What is it? Then what is your life cycle state? How you built with it? Your behaviors and limitations, like when you revoke something into your access model via certifications, for roles, access profiles, how is it going to take into account? Is there any domino effect? Like, okay, if you have overlapping access profiles, which is like, okay, not a recommended way, but if you have it, so how it's going to react? Something like this. Everything like roles, access profiles, entitlements, source owner certification, whatever the certifications related, it's going to let you know. Any license addition limitations, requirements, we asked for it. If it is there, it's going to tell you for dynamic approvals if it's going to there. And as I said, it's going to give you all the documentation references it has referred to give you this gist. So let's see the one. See, it's building up. So almost on the similar lines which we just saw. See, pretty much the same thing it is building out. Yeah. So roles types, keys, dynamic roles, it's going to pretty much bring it you to the entire just what you asked for. Whatever was needed to you is what you have got. Similarly, moving forward now to the next slide. Now, debugging assistance. So till now we were doing it as an expert consultant, as a sample, like understanding of the best practices, how you're going to do it. Now we're going to do it into debug assistance. Now you are working on something into SailPoint, let's say correlation. You know the basics, how correlation works, what is a correlation, what is an account attribute to identity attribute mapping. You also know that you need to make something searchable. to have it available as an identity attribute, but that is basics. What about how it actually works? What is the sequence of it? How it does it? What all things you need to take care of something. If, for example, if you are stuck with like some native identities getting correlated to some unwanted identities, how you deal with that? How you fight it out? Where you need to go to handle those type of situations. So but somehow due to some misconfigurations or maybe data issues, you're facing those problems with unwarranted correlations and etc. So ISC being a SaaS tool, there are a lot of things which you can't debug straight out of your if you were to IOQ or something like this, you would have gone to logs and something like this and looked into it. But with a SaaS tool, no, that is not something which you can do. So how you do is you're going to look into something of a template which going for the documentation and all. So it's not just a simple search onto your documentation, but a well formatted. It will return you links, multiple documents, and giving you the crux out of all the things, what it is, how I'm supposed to deal with it. So we'll take the sample, like say understanding and deep knowledge is what we gonna call it. Your account correlations we are talking about. What is the context? You are having issues with utilizing your correlations. You want to understand all the nuances to the correlation process. You want to see, you have seen certain accounts not getting correlated or getting correlated to unwanted identities. So I want you to help me in detail as to what needs to be ensured, like maybe best practices. This is like you're talking to some person, isn't, that's what I said, it's an expert consultant. So you're talking to a person, you're telling them your pain points and expecting it to resolve your problem. But just it, you give them what all precise you are looking for, maybe the steps, the pros and cons, what needs to be taken care of as cautions, and especially the documentation. So the template here is designed to give you every nuance to the topic you are seeking guidance on deep understanding. You can clearly define what you are seeking, what is the topic you need assistance on, and the context as to what extent you are currently stuck or what level you have knowledge, what assistance you need. So pretty much you are giving them the gist, where do we stand. We have made it explicitly clear on we need to every step, the pros and cons, the caution points, etc., and attend the docs. So let's try to demo this. Going with the same prompt, as I said, account correlation, whatever we want to do, what we want to include it, cite the documentations. And by the time this brings things up, we will go to a demo which we already have ready here. Well, it does it for you. See, oh, this was pretty much, oh, that's the backup. It's doing the gist. We'll start looking into it. So it started with what it analyzed. It told you what I analyzed. It gave you the basic understanding of what is a correlation. Then step-by-step guide. What is a prerequisite? What do you need? You need your identity profile, making things searchable, the basics, which we know, but still it's going to tell you. Then how you're going to configure your correlations from UI, testing your configurations, modifying your existing configurations. So the correlation methods, the approach, like rules, their correlation rules, the manual correlation, the bulk correlation via field upload, and pros and cons of different approaches. Everything it gets listed with manual correlation, what it's going to do, what you need to take care of as a caution, like the character limit, the manual correlation, which is going to be persistent. It's not, if you correlate something manually, you need to overwrite it or else it's going to stay forever. It will not reevaluate, even if you want that account to move from one identity to another or something else, maybe. Then removing your manual correlation, authoritative sources impacts, the delta consideration, searchable attributes, the criteria order matters. So whatever the nuances are there. So if you remember, we talked about it maybe 2 weeks ago in our live stream about how to do correlation, what are the stuffs, what do you think need to be looked into, those different stuff which we talked about into the DevRel live stream which we had 2 weeks back. This is pretty much asking Harbor Pilot to assist you with it. So maybe you want to watch that, you want to ask Harbor Pilot, technically it's going to tell you each and everything, much detailed, written, copy pasted, documented somewhere. If you want, you can build your internal documentations as well. Maybe you can use it for your internal education. So everything which we were using is there. Even it will going to tell you about how you can leverage AI for your recommendations. The access correlation recommendations are there. So those references, everything is there, and those docs which we preferred about. Coming back to the presentation. So going forward from that to data detective. So now with data detective, we can move moving forward from documented knowledge to your live data. So the analytic agents acts as your data detective using the investigative search templates. You can ask complex questions about your identity warehouse, and it's going to build it, fetch it, show it to you how you can do it, how you should do it, something like this. And here's the most powerful part for your developers. Harbor Pilot doesn't just give you the answers, it can show it works. So it provides the exact query which you can copy paste it into search or just click it and it'll take you to the search. So you are not just getting data, you are actively learning from the platform syntax how you are supposed to build those queries. So this is pretty much the template, like what we are categorizing it into, what you're looking for, maybe identities, accounts, entitlements, access profiles, events, whatever the thing which you are looking for, maybe account activity. What are you looking for? What type of thing which you are looking for, we're going to prescribe it. Okay, this is what I'm looking at, this is what in this combination, these are the filters I'm looking at. Maybe I want them to be clubbed in accordance with some accounts data, or maybe like identity attributes into accounts data. So your identities into your access profiles data, maybe source data, what you need. So based on those searchable fields which are available, those indices which we call, you can define those complexities, bring it out, and what is the expected return. So now what developers get out of it is, you your Harbor Pilot is going to give you the complex and conditioning, those whatever the merging we can say, or sub adding those solution queries. It's going to do it for you. Those multi-step analysis, it performs a two-stage query, identifying things and all those stuff. It does it for you, and you can learn the syntax. It translates your natural language of your request into your syntax of your search. So that's how it's got. We're gonna go with a bit it's, I wouldn't say it complex, but most common scenario which we see, maybe something onto the source, someone has an account onto that source, and you are looking for some attributes which are identity attributes, not the attributes coming out from that specific source or anything like that. So this is a sort of complex, not complex type of thing, and I want to see all the access items, accounts, whatever the things are available, the matching values. We're going to ask it. So this example is a perfect illustration of the goal was to find all the doctors in Austin with accounts on both AD and Prism, and then see everything they have access to. So let's see how it's gonna go. I'll pick up the query and we'll go to the next one. So again, just gonna do a shift refresh. I'm gonna allow it to load it up for me. Okay, this is the last one. I'm gonna go to new conversation. I'm gonna paste it and hit enter. Sorry. Go ahead. While this loads, again, we'll go to our shortcut. It's building things out. By the time, oh, pretty much started, let it do. So whatever the things which you had, they found identities based on your source names, whatever you described. If you hover over these things, it's going to show you those things, but let it build first. So we are now moving away from documentation to getting your, we can say, as live data out for you. So see this query. If I'm going to click on it, just a sec, and let it bring out. See what are the identities, what it does, etc. You have it. So attributes, whatever we defined the values, and your requirement was with account. So that's where we got this pretty much easily. You can see those accounts here as well as into your Harbor Pilot too. What are the details? What are the names? Things, etc. Okay. So and whatever you need, you can look into it. So if I want to go to this identity and look for it, something like this, we can get it done. Going ahead. So moving into, yeah, we pretty much covered the light demo. It took the multi-step process, found out those 5 users, and like whatever the access was there. Now again, with this, you can see like, okay, it retrieves you all the real magic, what I was supposed to done. It's pretty much here. Now, moving forward to the builder. Now, when I say builders, as developers, architects, we live in a world of increasing complexity where we want uh, everything to be customized based on the customer needs. You want it to be transformed in a such a manner. You want it to be handled in a different way. So those workflows, those templates of your, I would say, as transforms is something which is needed. How you want to query it, what exactly you need to ask them to deliver it to you. So we'll be using Builder to get you those templates where you can use it to ask for exactly what you need. Going forward, there is your workflows will begin to workflows. Now that you can investigate your data, you can get into documentation. Let's start building automation based out of it. So the workflow agent acts as an automated architect. It's going to build a new workflow based on your defined criteria. You can describe a process in the plain text and it builds the workflow for you. So the workflow, how we have taken the template is, what is the business outcome you are looking for? What is a trigger? Maybe an identity attribute, something which you want it to be used for the trigger. Maybe once the workflow is there, you can download it, duplicate it, change the trigger for the same type of 2 types of trigger customizations you want. You can probably do it. Now your steps, what exactly you are looking. I want this after this, after this, after this, after this. So you will be clicking on or letting that know that, okay, these are the types of steps which you are expecting, you're looking at. Then approvals. So in workflows and the manual gate, so is there any approvals, something step you're looking for? Maybe for you're asking Harbor Pilot to generate approval workflow for it, which you can use it in the dynamic approval with your roles. Tell it what are you looking for and what do you want, like deliver me a draft or something like this. What do we get out of it? It is like the agent doesn't just build the workflow, it provides you the crucial non-obvious technical details which might be needed for it. Maybe your JSON filterings or something like this. It's going to tell it, it's going to join for maybe for joiners or something. It's going to pick it up, find it out for you. It's going to let you know how you want to do that. So saving you a significant time into figuring out of JSON path queries and looking into it. We'll go to the sample now. So this is a bit tiny. We'll switch it somewhere else. Okay. I'll bring this thing out. So here we go. What are we looking at? We are asking you to generate a workflow. Based on what? Maybe the trigger was identity created, the use case was I need to inform a manager or the sponsor that the identity is onboarding based on whatever the type of provisioning you expect a joiner to go through. Maybe you want an Okta account, maybe you want an AD account, maybe you want email to be provisioned based on subjective type of employer, something like this. You want that. So we start defining that. You want to wait for certain nuances that, okay, you want auto provisioning to complete its job, all those stuff. So that's where like 5 minutes, wait for it, then get your identity at details, check it exists, check for Okta accounts, what you do, it's a success factor, what type of employee it is, how you're going to identify you, maybe from the source or maybe from some attribute which you're putting, maybe like which tells you it is a coming from a full-time employee, success factors or something like this, or maybe something from out of a non-employee norm, maybe from a flat file, whatever that can be. So then check for AD accounts. If it is provision, not, then does it require an email? Yes, no. We look into it, we classify it, and We listed out what we need. Then give me this, give me the documentation. This is what we're gonna pick it up and pretty much ask this guy to do it for you. Again, ship refresh. We're gonna take a new screen. Okay, ding, new conversation. Close this. Sorry, and go. So this is going to generate it for you. And again, standard practice. By the time it's generate things for you, I'll show the sample. So I gave him the same code, whatever I requirements we talked about. We looked into it, copy pasted the same requirements. Gave it the requirements. It's like, okay, I understood your requirements. This is what you're asking me to do, blah, blah, blah. And okay, here you go. Saying that, okay, the notification will be sent. And are you asking me to generate a workflow ID? Say, yes, please generate it. So here's your, it's going to do it like, okay, here's a workflow ID. So I'm going to go to the workflow and yeah, pretty much John generated. Just so see, it's the subside. That's pretty much the same workflow ID. If you see, just copy the same field. It was already the same thing, the same workflow. Starting out, I'll zoom in for you, just showing you the complexity when I was zoomed out. Okay, identity created, wait for 5 minutes. There's one validation error, if I'm not wrong, that would be okay. Knocked account error, I just have not renamed it. So workflow, at times you might have to just polish it, but pretty much it has done most of the stuff which you wanted. So the last final polish it needed was and stuff, but say like failure with no locked account. Perfect. Okay, so this is not a simple workflow which we picked into. We ask it to look at the identity created, get its details, check if the Okta account exists. If not, fail it, because Okta is the most basic. If you want to have it Okta, then you're gonna check it, is it a full-time employee or not, etc. Okay, sorry, let me save it. So error's gone technically. Okay, so check if it's your full-time employee or not. If it's not a full-time employee, check it based on your non-employee details. If it's a full-time employee, check if it is given those AD roles or not. If it is given AD roles, AD account exists. Notify the manager that, okay, I was not able to provision AD, just Okta is done, or else whatever. If full provisioning is done, full provisioning is done. Similarly, for non-employees, we're going to check it out. If email is required for those non-employees, then if yes, then see if it's given. If true, then okay. Not, then not. Based on that, send those emails and your workflow was complete. So this was the pretty much complex scenario which we gave Harbor Pilot to generate a workflow for it, and it's pretty much done. Let's see. Was it able to do it? Oh yeah, it's pretty much doing it. See? It pays with me sometimes, so I have my backups. See? Whatever we told it, etc. Everything it is generating. Going forward. So this was your workflow. Now we just saw the live demo. Let's go ahead with the logic coder. So now when we start talking about the logic coder, here we'll be talking about transforms. So transforms are something which you want to have it for your data manipulation from time to time, maybe while account provisioning, or you can have it when your identities attributes are getting calculated. The standard ones are like lifecycle state calculations and these type of things. So again, based on it, what do you want? So these templates are going to like help you with those complex logic for your data manipulations and how your data ends up on your end systems. So logic coder template allows you to describe the business rules, business use case, the requirements into simple English, and Harbor Pilot is going to do the job for you. So the template which you're going to look into is what are the fields which you want to be taken into account while transforming the data, what is the target on which you want to transform, what is the goal, what are the different steps you want to be transformed, what is like, okay, if this then this, if not then that, and all those stuff. So if else, whatever the statements, if you want, mention those if else statement again. SailPoint, so Transform's not going to take those if else statement as statement, but it's going to understand this, and based on that, it's going to define your other workflows. So whatever the we are talking about life cycle state, it can be end date, calculations, and all those stuff. So ISO format, converting into the formats, ensuring things are right, etc. We're going to have Harbor Pilot, build it based on those dynamicity, those complex requirements, and just fed into this template. Don't be scared. So your logic coder, you have transforms. So what you're going to do, for example, I'm going to type it out as, okay, this is the worker status. It can be, what are the types? I can tell I'm going to active, terminated, retire, or it can be either null. What is the person type? Employee, contingent worker, not a full-time employee. Maybe for a university project you're working on, you can mention it like, okay, student, professor, maybe someone onto your support staff, from cleaners, janitors, etc. Whatever the special IDs, if you have, depending upon giving them special privileges, access, or in the minimal access, whatever that can be. If you have number, it's there, listed out. Hire date, HR systems. What is the hire date in your HR systems? Gives a few samples. So then, what is the target? Your life cycle state. What is the goal? It's conditional mappings, how your life cycle states gets calculated, what all things as a basic you want. Then you start defining your edge cases. Okay, that null, something is missing, then this is what missing date is defaulted to this, then minimal access, then your comparisons, contingent workers, how you want to do it with 14 days pre-hire status, all unmatched conditions, give it, put it into active state. So whatever your requirement is, you define over it pretty much in clear, otherwise return whatever is the default result you want. It can, we have made certain assumptions like, okay, this is what the date format you have in your hard downstream system. If you have explicit single date defined, give it in that context, but we have just taken it as a nuance, and like ask it for date comparisons and all the stuff, looking into it. Then we copy this, sorry, again till this point. We'll go to this, go to build to, just do a quick refresh. Okay, new conversation. Just gonna squeeze this, guys. Okay, we're at builder 2, expand it, put the request, and hit enter. Again, in the meantime, it loads. We're gonna come back to your builder 2. So, again, the same template which we talked, just see, give it to it. Sorry. Uh, Same template which we gave, we ask it to generate something out of it. It has pretty much gone through all the use cases, all the steps, all the, we can say as the splits, the branches, and defined a workflow out of it. So how the workflow looks like it. This is going to be quick. I just copy out of it. And if you see the ID, it's the same ID. Just going to bring one more screen and bingo. So you see 957, that's pretty much the same workflow which it Harbor Pilot generated it for us. See, it's gonna, based on your whatever the source name, you just have to fill these things. Pretty much it has done everything out for you. And eventually your if else statement based on whatever the things may be, and your end step. So this is where it all takes into account and builds you a workflow. Well, let's see how this one was doing. It's still doing, it's trying a different approach, structuring. It takes few minutes to generate, but majority of the time Harbor Pilot is able to generate you the transform, no matter the complexity. Again, from time to time you might have to modify it a bit. It might have added or followed the documentation to the last letter. You don't want that, you want to simplify it, just it would be some fine tuning, some polishing, but pretty much Harbor Pilot has done the majority of it job for you. Transform is there, it's generated. Just have to specify, just describe it right, and it's going to do it for you. Going next. Moving forward from the logic coder, we have seen like how it's going to do it, the JSON structuring, etc. The demo will go to the governor. So in governor, now you are expecting like creating provisioning policies. How is Harbor Pilot going to help you with those governance operations? Create account policy with transforms, with those builders, or sorry, generators, the complex like first name, the last name, maybe Sam account name, whatever the combination you want to do. Ask Harbor Pilot to generate your provisioning policy for you. Just describe over it. Harbor Pilot is going to give you those entire thing with those transformations, everything. Just have to copy, paste, polish it a bit, and here you go, good to go. So moving ahead with the policy builder. So the template is pretty much again in the same context like business outcome, the requirements, the policy type, what is the constraint, what you want it to deliver, and what it gets you. API approach. It's going to give you an entire JSON, copy it, put it into API. Your provisioning policy is pretty much defined for your end system. Maybe it's create account policy. Then comprehensive guidance. It provides in detail steps of how it is doing it, how you can do it from UI, how you can do it from API. It pretty much saves a lot of thinking, going through the documentation, maybe for the freshers or the new joiners, or maybe like the new implementers who are to the new to the environment, who feel it hard to explore those documentations and get it done. Here you go. You can do those things straight out of Harbor Pilot just with the right prompting. Again, similar prompt we have described. Refer your API documentation. This is the certain attributes. I want to specify what I need. So for example, email, I need like first name, dot, last name, concatenated, followed by my domain, whatever I'm describing. The country, maybe I want it to be like, okay, for this country, take it some lookup transform or something like this. For same account name, first name dot last name. Similarly, for other attributes, fetch it maybe from your identity attributes or account identity attributes, giving it the flexibility. What is the type of policy? What are the constraints? What I need to be delivered? Everything I'm defining it and expecting it to give me a response step by step, maybe a UI guide using APIs. How am I supposed to deliver it? It's going to guide me. Let's go to demo. Coming back. So this builder, did it do the job? Yeah, it's pretty much building it. It needs me to stay there. But yeah, see, pretty much it is building. Do you want me to generate the transform? If I'm going to say yes, it's going to do it. Okay, so it still does the job. Now talking about the governor, we'll do the shift R. Expand, new conversation, close it. And the one which we just copied, let's see. Oh, sorry, I did copy it. Let's go again. Go ahead. Ding, ding, ding. The policy builder. Gonna pick up the entire policy. Come down here, paste the entire policy, hit enter. So again, the policy, what you need exactly, looking into it, it's gonna build it for you. Again, by the time it builds up, let's bring in our backup. So go. Same description. Based on that, it understood. So it is currently guiding you how from UI you can do it, how you can do the object mapping, the distinguished name. See, first name, the last name, whatever the OUs are there, and your domain, then your first name, the last name, display name, your CN, whatever the AD attributes are, because I asked it to cover each and every activity attribute. So pretty much covering majority of the most important ones. Again, I asked it to maybe give me a shorter way. That is your API. So which API gonna do? Headers. What is the body? See, everything is there. If it is a transform needed, same account name, it needs a transform, first name to last name, it's gonna concate. Done. Have it. CN names. So whatever we need, it's gonna pretty much generate it. It's gonna tell us what they're doing it, how we can test it. how you can define this policies out of it, how you can test it, how it gets generated. Pretty much tells you everything. And alternatively, if you want to look up transform, create it, gonna do it, pretty much everything. So on provisioning policies also, it's helping you the governance. So Harbor Pilot, it's actually acting like a true co-pilot. Going forward from this to next, the certification strategist. Certification, it's just not going to build you the certification, but it's going to build you each and everything and tell you how to generate the right certification. So you're going to tell it the use case. It's going to tell you which certification is best for this. Maybe search based certification, manager certification, and search based certification. Is it identities based certification? Or is it like access item based certification? It is role composition certification. Which type of certification satisfies your use case? It's going to pretty much compile everything, tell you step by step guide, including your search queries. For this requirement, what is the search query you need to use where. So for identity based certification, if you want to select all list, means like return or whatever, all identities out of this query, it's going to build you query in that context. If you're going to do it in access item, it's going to build query in that context. It's going to pretty much build everything into a single go, help you, guide you, handhold you pretty much to build you the certification. Again, it's not going to build it for you, but it's pretty much takes you to the door. You just have to put that key and unlock it. Pretty much the entire governance process onto your how certifications are getting handled, it's taken care of. So in this example, what we have taken is the goal was to create a very specific campaign to, again, we took the same doctors in Austin example. The prompt is asking for a full guide query to make it happen in response exactly how it's supposed to do. This is gonna be like, give me the guide. It's gonna might provide you a 10-step guide, and most importantly, it's gonna generate you the exact search query based on the certification which you choose to get it done. Let's go there. Sorry. Let's go. Perfect. Just make the same thing again. Let's, before we go there, see, this is generating whatever we asked for. It's pretty much similarly, see, all the attributes, it's going to generate it for you. I'll just going to minimize these. Okay, perfect. Refresh. Expand, new conversation, and drink. Perfect. Certification, doctors, cities, identities with city Austin, department doctors, having account on Active Directory and Prism. So this is what we're gonna ask it. And again, let's bring out the backup because it's gonna take some time. Okay. So as I said, it's gonna tell you which certification to choose from, choose for identities, return all identities, then this is your query. It explains you the query as well in detail so that it helps you build your understanding of how you're supposed to use search, SailPoint search to utilize some things. So do this, configure this. Now again, options for manager review or governance group, how you want to do it, schedule it, launch it right now, and all the stuff. So again, another approach would be search based query, whatever the different options which you have. Let's see what whatever this guy has done. See, and on the same lines, generating your queries, telling you pretty much the same thing. See, put it this query here at this step, give me the name, review your configurations, blah blah blah. Okay, what do you want to do? Scheduling, etc., etc., etc. See, and again, see, it's giving you an alternative approach how you can do it. Again, if you want to do it from admins, something like this, it is giving you the alternative approach. Define your filters from admin, launch a manager's campaign out of it. It's easy, but if it is going to be sticking to fixed one always, so this is another approach. So best practices, recommendations, summary, pretty much gives you everything you need to know about certification, how to launch it, or best you can do out of it. Moving forward to the newest geek, we can say, out here around This thing is your access request. Till now, SailPoint's Harbor Pilot was not able to make access requests for you. It was not able to make access requests on behalf of someone else by you. Now you can make access request from Harbor Pilot. You don't need to search. You don't need to have knowledge of what exactly you need and all this stuff. Just superficially explain it that okay, this is what I'm looking for, and yeah, bingo, it's gonna get you that. So, for example, again, you define your intent, what you need, what are the constraints, anything. So, you don't need to be reliant too much on the search and identifying what you need, maybe going to your my team, my access as a manager, and identifying what you want a new employee to have it, etc. Just in your plain language or text, describe it to ISE. This is what I need, and yeah, it's gonna pretty much do it for you. So this is where Harbor Pilot is gonna act as your ultimate access broker. We all know the problem. Users know what they need to do, and all the stuff. So this template allows you to ask it in plain text. So the self-service access broker, this is going to be pretty much simple. New access request, I'm a pre-port admin, I wanted to know AWS access and suggest anything else if it is there. So we're gonna go again straight to the demo. Here we go. Goes this and this as well. Refresh. Okay, it's new conversation, and let's describe this guy. What am I looking at? I might not need the backup. It should be quick, but let's see. If it does not, in a minute or so, we can't do that. Okay, so it is asking me this is what you're exactly looking for. I would say yes. It's gonna take me there, and okay, might handhold me. Let's see. Okay, see, if I click on it, it's gonna show me that access request is submitted by whom, what entitlement, what is the status. So I can ask Harbor Pilot to refresh it for me. Pretty much, I can ask it to do. So, and for example, if some tenant had much detailed one, so it's going to show me like, okay, so here's the broader search related to AWS pre-prod. What are the different types of accesses? If we click on this, it's going to show me different types of accesses, and I can choose from it whatever I want to request, maybe an entitlement access profile, combined request access. It's going to take it and build it based on it and submit the access request. So that is pretty much your access request out of it. See, submitted, 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 check, 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 check. See, it does segregated the accesses, but done the job. Now we're going into the last leg, the last item pretty much, which I have for the day. It is your access request, but requesting on behalf of someone, maybe your manager, or if your organization has allowed it for everyone. So anyone can request anything. Similar template. Intent, what do you want, request it for, and please include whatever the recommendations or anything like that. Template, so new request. I pretty much plain it simple, like all the access profile that starts with access profiles because I have my data dummy prepared for it. Every access profile that starts with access profile, every source name that starts with source. So pretty much it's going to list down a lot of things for me and recommend what I want to request. So Harbor Pilot understands this two-part intent and it's going to play it out for you. Let's go there. Click, copy the prompt, ding, ding, ding. Here's the prompt. I'll check a new conversation, hit it, enter. And it's gonna load it out for me. In the meantime, it loads out for me. I'll just bring it out a sample as a matter of time. So I ask it to request it for dev events. The same thing, suggest requirements. So you see, do you want me to do it? Say, yeah, try again. Please enable it. So you see, it found out access profile. So found out every access profile starts with access profile, and the source starts with source, and the roles which has those access profiles as well. And if I click on this, it's going to show me everything. Again, same, selected, request access, done. So pretty much this does everything for you, from your governance to understanding your documentation to deriving your provisioning policies, workflows, transforms, uh, build and guiding you to the last minute how to do certifications, and hand holding your access requests as well, with the most, I would say, the quickest, not searching needs and not knowing the underlying design of your access model, because not everyone who's requesting the access will have the knowledge of your design model, or it saves their time to just ask it rather than like finding it, searching it, etc. So Harbor Pilot does it for you. That's just pretty much it from my side. Thank you for taking into time. So we have met the investigators, builders, and governance. So it's no doubt not about replacing the developers, it's more about empowering them. Welcome to the future of identity development. Thank you.